Welcome to Pitside live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. Hey, we got a little echo here tonight. So anyway.
Oh, you're good. It does that right at the beginning.
So. All right, here we go. Hey, it's Salute to Trucker night, folks, and this is an awesome night. We've already got the big rigs pulling in, so any of you folks coming in that usually are used to parking down here in our south end, sorry, we have that all reserved for trucks tonight, so we're going to keep shooing you out there, but hopefully I have that thing clear full of rigs out there. We had 43 last year. I want to beat the record this year, so hopefully we'll have 50 of those babies out here this year. But tell you what, guys, what a beautiful night. 73 degrees. I keep hearing the back studio, they're announcing the temperature today, and I tell you, last year I think it was 100, so it is awesome. I'm Cliff Baldwin. This is Evan Baldwin and Cole Hendrickson, and we're here doing Pitside Live with you here at Adams County Speedway, and what an awesome night. I know there's a lot of things going on tonight in the area, or the region, I should say, but we're going to have a great night of races. We already have a line of people waiting to get in like usual, and all the food's warm, and the sodas and adult beverages ready to go, but hey, we're back racing again.
First thing I'm going to say, I'm going to tell you right now, race fans, if you're listening, and you want a Salute the Trucker t-shirt, you better get here early, because I think last year we sold out at like 6 o'clock. So
yep.
If you want a Salute the Trucking t-shirt, you're going to have to get here pretty early to get one, because we ordered more this year because we sell them out so quick. But again, if you want one, you're going to have to get here early to buy one. So they're going to be located right when you walk in to the right. They're not at the souvenir trailer this year. They're at the there's going to be a table right out front. You'll see it so when you walk in. But make sure you see all the truckers too when they come in. Make sure you say hi to them. Thank you for what they do.
Very nice lady working the table over there.
Yeah, my grandma's selling t-shirts. So, but Keen Thummel's out front here, our title sponsor here for the Salute to Trucking night. Big thanks to them for doing t-shirts and stuff like that again this year. We're going to have them out on the front stretch tonight. We're going to run 2 features, and then we're going to do truckers, and then we're going to do 3 features after that. So just to
it's a lot sweeter when the trucks are out there in the dark.
Yes,
darker.
We want to wait till the sun starts going down. So and those guys can show off their underglows and all that kind of stuff. So I know Cole, your dad's a trucker.
Oh yeah.
So it's right up your alley.
Yep, growing up riding down the road, I didn't do it a ton, but whenever I did, it was always fun going down the road, and got to see firsthand what truckers have to deal with and how underappreciated they are. So it's very cool to have a night like this to spotlight. In all honesty, these guys and gals, they keep America moving. I mean, without them, the country would grind to a halt. So,
yep.
And the shirts look awesome. Dre knocked them out of the park. I think we were talking yesterday.
We picked the right color.
Yeah.
We were contemplating on what to pick, and we were like, We did maroon last year. They were really popular, but the light blue is pretty good. The turquoise color.
It's
cool.
great for summer too. Even though Iowa has forgot, I think that it's summer because it's 70 degrees, which I'm not complaining about.
No.
Well,
it's
last
definitely
week,
weird.
Last week was brutal.
Oh yeah,
we were down here cooking.
I know. I couldn't believe, we were at Knoxville the other night, and I was throwing a sweatshirt on. I'm like, what is going on?
We've been in Knoxville the last 2 nights, and my buddy went with me last night, and he brought a blanket, he brought a Carhartt, I'm like, dude, it's the middle of August.
Yeah, it was, everybody was wearing a jacket, though, out there. It was amazing. It was, it got down to the high 40s. I'm like, this is great. I'm not complaining. I loved it.
Well, one thing that stands out to me about this weather is you're going to see a good racetrack tonight, race fans, because when the weather's like this, it makes it a lot easier to prep a racetrack. The moisture stays in the track, and you don't have to try to catch up all the time. And we had a little bit of dust issues last week, but again, that has a lot to do with it being 1,000 degrees outside like it was last week. And
so I'm going to interrupt you. We got news right off the bat. I want to put out a big congratulations to our race director and his wife, Logan and Kendra Carlson. They had their baby today at like 1:30 today, and I just got some pictures. So very, very excited for Logan and Kendra. So
hey, you're on TV, by the way.
No, she's fine. She's fine. Come on over. Come on.
They can see you.
Well, we're gonna put her on the mic here in a minute. So, but anyway, I want to.
Everybody was staring at your back.
I want to put a big congratulations out there to Logan and Kendra. So, and I know it's been a long couple of days for them. They've been in the hospital for the last 2 days, and
yep, they had it this afternoon. So
congratulations, awesome deal. So. We also got the guys here with the drones back, so awesome to have them guys back on too. So anyway, just wanted to put that out there before we got going too far. And Katie's here from Keen Thummel, so we're going to get her on the air here real quick. So you guys go ahead, and I'm going to go see her real quick. So you guys keep going, and I'll be right.
You know, speaking of that drone shot, I saw some posts being shared around of, I think it was the Iowa Traveler or
Iowa Road Trip.
Yes, there you go. And man, it's weird seeing the angle of our track
It
from
is.
the back. I had to like take a double take. I'm like, is that our track?
That's what people were commenting.
yeah,
like,
we're not used to that angle.
Yeah.
So
And I think the picture was taken. I think it was last fall or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but it's a group that does they road trip across Iowa, and they have their own drone, and they go up and take pictures and stuff. They're at the state fair right now, but it's cool that we're the first track they did, and they actually said that we are the only NASCAR affiliated track in Iowa, which that is actually false.
well, I think they
We are
said
the
only
only
dirt
right.
track.
We are the
affiliated.
only dirt track. Hawkeye Downs up in Cedar Rapids is also NASCAR affiliated, but they are an asphalt track. So, yeah, so it's super cool to have that kind of publicity, something different. Yeah, but before we get on with stuff tonight, Cole, we can kind of talk about what's going to be going on here the rest of the month. This is a packed month. We've got Salute to Trucking tonight, obviously, presented by Keen Thumble Trucking. And then it's just regular racing this week, race fans, just our regular 5 classes, weekly classes. But next week, we're also going to have one hot lapping tonight. There's going to be a 360 here tonight. But we are going to have wing sprint cars here for the first time in over a decade, race fans, here to the Adams County Speedway next Saturday night. I believe it will be a don't quote me on this, but I believe we are doing a $20 grandstand admission. I do believe for that. So in order to pay the purse. So if you're a sprint car fan, or if you've never watched sprint cars before, over the last few years, I think Cole and I have kind of been the same way. We're both grew up late model guys, and sprint car racing is in a great place right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Knoxville just broke the record for Wednesday night crowd, Thursday night crowd, and last night they broke the record too. And it just shows how much High Limits has kind of brought more fans in, and sprint car racing is probably the most popular dirt car right now in the country, I would say, probably nationwide. And to have them back here to the Speedway here next week for the Malvern Bank 360 Sprint Cars is going to be super cool. Huge thanks to Jay Burdick for hooking us up with that, and Joe Kaziski. But I'm looking forward to some wings down here. So.
I've been all in on it. You know, I was telling my friends the other day, it's like I was looking through my T-shirt collection, and I'm like, man, I'm starting to get more sprint car T-shirts than I am late model. But, I mean, for those that don't really follow sprint cars and have never really gotten into it, it's kind of taken a turn. You know, back in the day, well, I say back in the day, but that's like, I don't know, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you'd go to a late model race and you're like, I don't know who's going to win.
Right.
Flip
a coin.
Yeah, you never know. And sprint car racing was you show up, you're like, well, we're either going to watch Brad Sweet, Donnie Schatz, or David Gravel win, or, you know, some other guys. And now it's like you show up to a sprint car race, those guys are up there, but it's like you really don't know. I mean, it's very, very cool. And, I mean, that's like we showed up at Knoxville during the Iowa Cup race weekend, and Corey Day won. Like, I know that for somebody that follows sprint cars, that's not really surprising, but it's like, you know, you go to Knoxville, you're like, oh, Donnie Schatz, Kyle Larson, those guys are going to be who wins. So I'm excited to see the 360s down here. And for those that don't know, this Malvern Bank 360 series, these guys are no slouches. They get after it, and
they're just like
really,
the SLMR guys.
Yeah.
They're competitive with the big dogs.
Yeah, they just – well, I mean, it's like last night, Jack Dover. I don't know if he will be here, but he does run 360s a lot around this area. He almost locked into the feature last night, unfortunately.
Forgot to go to the scales.
He forgot to go to the scales, and Donnie Schatz got really lucky there. But, I mean, he's been running good. I was checking the points up at Knoxville, and, I mean, he was in the top 30 and that's a regional guy. And to be in the top 30 in points at Knoxville, that's very good. So I'm excited for it, and it should be pretty good. I don't know.
We talk about sprint cars.
Hopefully the weather is like this.
One thing I think that stands out to me why sprint car racing is so good right now is because, like back in the day, late models were so close. And you've got 10 to 15 teams who are so close, and the technology wasn't advanced yet. So everybody was so close on setups and everything like that. But now late models have kind of transitioned into the more downforce. You know, if you're off by a little bit, you're out to lunch kind of thing, and it separates the field. See, sprint cars have now transitioned into where it used to be, 3-4 guys like Donnie Schatz and Brad Sweet, but now it's like you've got 20-30 guys from two different series who can win on any given night.
Well, and I think a lot of that is, like you talk about with the technology with late models, sprint cars have kind of tapered off. There's not – I mean, if you after the races, when they're done, if none of those guys have loaded up, go look at those cars. There's not a lot to them. You can adjust your – obviously, this is just a basic summary of it. There's a lot more you can do. But, I mean, it's pretty much just tires, your wing angle, shocks, and got to have a good engine. That's really about it. I mean, there's some small stuff you can do, obviously, but it I think that's what makes them so great right now is all those teams that were behind for those years have caught up. And it's the same with midget racing. I mean, there's guys that'll bring 20-year-old midget chassis to the Chili Bowl and be competitive.
Right.
So it's I don't know. I love it. It feels weird that I'm slowly converting over into a sprint car fan, but I'm excited to see them down here. And let me tell you, they are going to haul.
Yeah.
They are going to be going
So
quick.
if you are a sprint car fan, again, we're not running 410s, but on a big track like this, you're not going to really notice a lot of difference because they're going to be able to get up to speed just like a 410 will. It's kind of the same comparison, honestly, to a slammer car to an open late model car.
Unless they're on the track together, you're not really going to be able to tell a huge
exactly.
difference, so.
And again, these are open motors. These 360s. They're still running high dollar stuff. So, just like Cole said, it is top notch competition. It's guys that can compete with the World of Outlaws and the High Limit Series. So. We expect to have right around 20 of them here. That's what they've been averaging this year. Hopefully we can get a little bit more since Knoxville, I don't believe, is not racing. So hopefully we can get a couple more over from like the Knoxville area, some of those local guys. A lot of the guys that race in that series are from Nebraska. So we're going to have those guys, but sometimes when there isn't sprint car races going on like Knoxville, some of those guys from like Des Moines area and Knoxville, they'll come over and run with the Malvern Bank series. So it's going to be cool to see. It's kind of like a trial period for us to see how well it goes. Again, if the crowd shows out for it and we see that it's a huge hit and it's good racing and the track can hold up for it and everything, we'll have them back. And we might even have them back a couple times a year. So it's something where we're going to see how it goes, but I'm super excited for it. It's something new, something that our local guys haven't seen here in years. I mean, we haven't had wing sprint cars here in over a decade. And for those of you that watched the non-wing stuff last year, it's going to be nothing like that.
Yeah. And,
this is totally different.
Yeah, and nothing against that non-wing series, but a lot of that's just kind of run what you brung.
It's open rules.
It's kind of a little bit of a club race, just so guys can come out, have fun. And, I mean, obviously they do get competitive, but this is a legit series with a big prize at the end.
Right.
So it's hopefully some of those Knoxville guys can come down and add to the total of cars, and it's going to be it'll be fun for us and kind of challenging because Anthony can't make it, so we're going to have to learn a lot of the drivers.
He's going to give me the sponsor sheet, so we're going to have to learn how to read off sponsors and stuff. We've never really done that before. So, but also race fans, I want to mention coming up here before we go to our first commercial break, coming up after Sprint Cars, race fans, biggest race of the year when it comes to our local guys. It is the 26th annual Napa Auto Parts Tradition. We are doing a 2-night show this year, Friday and Saturday night. It's August 23rd and 24th. Once again, race fans, it is $4,083 to win for stock cars. That is going to be the Greg Miller Shootout. And then it's $2,012 to win for hobby stocks. That will be the Jeremy Ribby Memorial. We do have new sponsors online. It's going to be the Hewitt & Sons Auto Salvage stock cars and the Toll Farms hobby stocks. And I will announce what we're going to do for sure for hobby stocks. We are going to do a halfway challenge. So Jim Toll is offering up an extra $500. And what we're going to do is the leader at the halfway stop, I'm going to go up there with a bag of chips, and they're going to draw a chip. There's going to be 5 5s, 4 4s, 3 3s, 2 2s in it. He draws a chip. Let's say he draws a 4. There's $400 on the line. He can go back to 4th place. And if he wins the race from 4th place, he wins an extra $400. If not, if he chooses to say no and he chooses to stay on the pole, then the top 4 finishers of the feature after lap 24 will all get an extra $100 for their pay. So Huge thanks to Toll Farms for doing that. Jim's also going to be the title sponsor for our hobby stocks, so it is going to be the Toll Farms hobby stocks for the Jeremy Ribbon Memorial. I do believe we also have Brandon Salvage on for compacts. I think we're still looking for a modified sponsor, and I can't remember what the B-Mod sponsor is off the top of my head, so I'll let you know that here in the next few weeks. But Tradition's going to be super fun. 2 nights of racing. It's going to be 2 complete shows for our compacts, modifieds, and sport mods, and then we're running a dual heat races on Friday and Saturday, or on Friday, inverting top 10, and then we're going to do some type of cool redraw that we talked about, when we're going up to Knoxville. So I'm super excited for Tradition too. We haven't really done this before. This is a format that Joe Kaziski did and Lisa Layton did with Silver Dollar Nationals and Cornhusker, and we're kind of taking it over. Some drivers like it, some drivers don't, so you can't please everybody.
No, I think it'll be fun. Most people that went out to I-80 for the Cornhusker, they're going to know it puts on some good racing because guys know they got to get going, and if you don't make passes, you're not going to be sitting very well. So like we talked about when Jason Rold was on here, it's going to be a little different. You want to draw about a 30 to 60 in your draw, and you want to start about mid-pack, because if you start on the pole for your heat race and you don't win, you're going to be kind of buried. So you're either gonna have to go into the next one, hope your car's good and can drive through the pack and finish well. So, but that's a lot of what it is. It's how many cars you pass combined with your finish. So if you don't pass any cars, it's gonna hurt you. So,
and it's kind of one of those wonky formats too, like Knoxville.
Yeah. The
Knoxville Nationals. I was trying to explain to him how they do it, and just because you start on the pole of your heat race doesn't mean that you're and you go to the feature. Doesn't mean you're going to be high in points. You had a guy like
Brad Sweet.
Yeah,
he's ran pretty decent all week, and he didn't even make the show.
Right.
So he's got to run a B tomorrow.
There's guys that started on the pole of their heat race. They won their heat race, and then they started like third in the feature and didn't pass any cars, and didn't even make the feature on Saturday because they didn't accumulate enough points. Because it's all about cars you pass.
Yep.
It's all about inversion and cars you pass. See, they invert at Knoxville too, so. We don't invert our draw for Tradition, but that's why you want to draw that 30 through 60 pill, because you technically invert yourself by doing that.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be definitely different, but it'll be good, and just excited for it.
Yep.
It feels weird that it's
And we'll have to do our best to stay on top of the points, too. Let fans know what we're doing.
Well, so. I believe my race pass keeps track of that.
Yes, they do.
So we should be all right on that, but I'm excited for it. It definitely feels weird that it's only 2 weeks out. I was looking at our schedule, and I'm like, whoa.
I just hope I'm just crossing my fingers now, because every single year we have a problem with it. I hope Mother Nature cooperates.
Yep. So, tell you what, guys, I hate to interrupt, but we're going to take our first commercial break because I want to get Katie on here, and she's here. She's just anxiously wanting to do this show. But we're gonna take our first commercial break, and we'll be right back here with our first guest on Pitside Live.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah. Best Finish Auto Sales and Service is proud of the quality used vehicles they sell and their dedication to serve the needs of their customers. Whether it's your first purchase or one of many that you've had, you can count on their dedicated sales staff to make the best buying experience possible. They also offer financing on your vehicle purchase. Best Finish can also take care of your service needs, from oil change, brakes, alignment, air conditioning, to any body shop and repair needs. Stop by Best Finish Auto Sales and Service at 209 Sharp Street in Glenwood for all of your vehicle needs.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth? to transform the way we use energy. Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels. Giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camlin Mechanical or visit camlinmechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Welcome back to Pitside live here at Adams County Speedway. It's Salute to Truckers Night, and in doing so, I'm introducing our next guest, who's a huge part of this and our main presenting sponsor, Keene Thummel Trucking. I have Katie from Keene Thummel Trucking. Welcome aboard, and thanks for coming, and thanks for bringing the big rigs.
Thanks, Cliff. We're excited to be here.
It's you were asking off air. I believe it's our 5th year. I'm pretty sure that's right. And Steve was here forever with us as announcer and got away, and we started doing this. Bob Harris was, the main cog in getting this thing going, without a doubt. And I kindly called Steve up. I said, Steve, you've got to be a part of this. And he was like, absolutely.
Yep.
So, and it's been great. And we were able to get him up here a couple of times to actually watch races. Last year, what I loved was that he brought a grandson last year. First time he'd ever been, and he absolutely loved it. And I tried so hard to get him to get on the air and up to the doing some announcing. And it's like, and then after we did it, it's funny. There's a elderly gentleman racer we have named Jim Toll out there. He won that night, and he goes, "Oh, I should have went down there and done the interview." I said, "Yeah, that would have been absolutely perfect." So unfortunately, we've said this enough. Miss Steve a lot. Hate to have that happen, but he's been a huge part of this, helping this, and Keene Thummel Trucking, great local company, Newmarket, Iowa, where that lady I just introduced you down there, that's where she graduated from. So
awesome.
So she's a minor. So anyway, my mom graduated from Newmarket. So I've gone to the Newmarket 4th of July since I can remember. So
Steve was a big part of that
absolutely.
too. So,
without a doubt. So as Rick, that's, you go down there and never had any trouble finding them. So they were always busy doing something. I chuckled this year. We did the parade, and there was Rick over in the lawn chair. I'm like, how'd that happen? How do you pull that off? How do you pull that off? I'm like, wow. So anyway, but it's a neat deal. But great having a company like Keene Thummel. Just right off the bat, I mean, just like pretty much anything, I'll mention this, you're probably hiring, because who isn't?
Well, we're in a pretty unique situation right now. We've got a lot of good people and very few trucks open. So we're always looking for good people, no matter if we have trucks open or not. But I'm talking to people every day.
Because I know in the industry, we had Custom Diesel sponsored this like the first 2 years, I think. But we talked to them how back then, COVID, all that stuff, there was a huge shortage of truck situations. Because, I mean, like I read a sign the other day, if you received it or you delivered it, it was probably delivered by a truck, or
100%. 100%. Well, and you're kind of in a unique situation with the economy right now too. So a lot of people are looking for good, solid jobs with good, solid customers, and thankfully we've got really good customers locally in the area that are supporting lots of families. Lots of families.
Yep. Because it's neat, you go down south on 71 and go to Clarinda, and the Highway 271 intersection has got the great trailer sitting there with Keene Thummel Trucking on it. So that's a neat thing that you guys have there. I thought that was awesome. So, and also if you head south to Maryville, you usually see a few trucks down there in the lot on Kawasaki too.
Always.
I believe, right? So
always. So. We were just on vacation, and that's always our goal. Where are we going to see them at?
Yeah.
So
Yep. And it is. That's the neat part about it. On the interstate, wherever I'm at, it's like, and to me, you guys' trucks are so easy to spot because they're white, and it's just simple to see Keene Thummel on there. And just like the gentleman from Heartland out there, he has the sweet veterans truck out there, and you see Heartland a lot. But there's certain ones you see, that's just amazing. And he was telling me about the offshoot companies they have, and I was like, holy cow. I don't know how many thousands of trucks they said that the whole company has, so it's just amazing.
Talk about how you guys are doing as a business. How many trucks do you have on the road right now, and kind of how many miles you guys put on?
175 trucks right now.
Oh my word.
That's a lot.
Yes, it is a lot. And again, our growth has been purely for customer need. So good customers. We've been working with Altec Industries in St. Joe for 35 years, Kawasaki for 25 years, NSK, Lyles was one of the first
Yep.
customers. So
Right.
a lot of good local
Right.
customers, and we're super thankful
Right.
for
'Cause
them.
I think Billy Rock worked for us for a long
Yeah.
time, and Billy I think was with King Thelma
Yeah,
for
he
a while,
was.
right? So absolutely. So that's the neat part about it. So describe what your job is at King Thelma?
Well, I do some human resources, and then I'm the driver relations. So really my goal is talking to people, the vibe on the inside, our current guys, and also talking to potential people that are looking for something good, and being able to express kind of who we are, what we do, and, what it could look like for
Yeah.
them.
Talk about for people coming out of like high school, maybe out of college, looking for a job. Kind of what does it take now to become a truck driver?
That's great, because it's changed.
Yes.
Very recently it's changed.
Yes, because I'm a special education teacher, and I've had actually 3 students go get their CDLs, and it's totally different than what it was 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, so they can get into programs 18, I believe.
Yep.
In order to get all of the classroom work done, testing done, and all that things. For an over the road, which is what we do, we have to have 23-year-olds and older, obviously.
That's
That's us
So.
in general.
But
Yes.
you only have to be 18 to get CDL.
18 to get it,
CDL,
so they
okay.
can haul grain locally.
Sure. Yep.
A lot of the intrastate, so in Iowa
Right.
or in Missouri,
Right.
wherever they get it at.
Right.
And then truck driving schools is most of the time how
Right.
they're getting it now. It used to be you knew a farmer.
Yeah.
He let you borrow his truck. You
Right.
got your experience that
Yep.
way, and you went and tested,
Right.
and you could do it.
Yep.
But-
you just drive.
Yep, exactly.
So I think does SWIC have a program?
Yeah.
I was thinking they did. I thought they
Yep.
did. So.
That's where most of the local kids go. Custom Diesel does that stuff too, but a lot of the kids in this area go to SWIC, and it's a little bit more in depth now.
Yes.
It's classroom work now,
Yeah.
and it's testing, and it's like going to college to
Yeah.
be a truck driver.
Yeah. Well, and that's a great point. So we like to talk in the industry about, you can go and get your 2-year degree or 4-year degree and spend X amount of dollars. Go to truck driving school for, between $5,000 and $8,000, let's say. And you can have a darn good paying job and not ever be in debt so definitely something.
Like I am.
Oh, me too.
So, yeah, right.
Yes.
But and also, this is maybe not offshoot, but there's financial aid for that too.
Oh yeah.
I mean.
Oh
so,
yeah.
no,
And
I mean,
in reality, if you find there's several good companies that have an excellent training program. My encouragement always is, if you can get into that company, get into the training program, and hold on, because it
Yep.
can be rough. There's a lot that goes into it,
Sure.
but hold on and keep yourself rooted for a little while. Get that experience
Right.
under your belt, then call us
Yeah.
after you have a little bit of experience, and
Yep.
it goes way better.
Because I'm sorry to interrupt. It's kind of like Is it like nursing, where some businesses will hire you and help
Oh,
pay
yeah.
those costs for you too?
Yep.
So
Yep.
I thought so. Did I interrupt you?
No, you're good. I'm just in it for the I just like to talk about we're always looking for new people to hire, and it's like a business like you guys who has 175 semis. What are some of the work attributes that you're looking for? People, what are some things that you guys look for in a truck driver and somebody that's going to be hireable and employable? So
Yep. So first off, I look at longevity. How long have you been at the current place that you're at?
Right.
Yep.
How long were you at your previous places? We're in an industry that they could have a job today, quit today, and have another job today. So that is not it's not a great thing by any means. But for us, longevity really is the first place that we look. Accidents and tickets.
Yeah,
well,
driving
actually,
record.
accidents and tickets is the first place. we look.
obviously,
But longevity is the second. But the quickest way to get yourself out of the industry, accidents, tickets, that for us is
Because that
we just
that
can't.
affects your insurance.
It affects
Right.
lots of things.
well, it's like
Yep.
a liability thing for you guys too.
Well, it's for anybody, but
Totally.
yeah, that's the thing. So it's like I don't want to say the worst driver, but yeah, that background's gonna kill you for your insurance. It's,
Totally.
so-
Totally. And you become not hireable.
Right.
So
You can't have that liability.
And the other thing I want you to talk about too is when you do get hired, and guys that have been in the industry for many years, talk about how these people are, like how much patience it takes to be a truck driver. And, I mean, it's not just sitting in the truck
No.
and driving.
No.
I mean, you've got you've got a lot of idiots out there.
Yes. Well, I talk about it just like professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
In any job that you have, a professional, they know what they're doing.
Right.
They can manage their own selves because
Yep.
in reality, nobody's there telling you to get up. You got to get to work,
Yep.
kind of thing. They get to
Right.
manage that themselves.
Yep.
They get to manage the routes that they take. They get to manage where they fuel. They get so someone who's a good manager of themselves and of all of their little pieces and parts, things go very, very well.
Yep.
Now, if you struggle with that, we're going to help you. Our goal is to make you the best that you can
Yep.
be. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's like, it's not what I want.
Right.
So
that sets me up for the next question. This is like, and you hear commercials that say this, like, you have local routes and you have coastal. You don't.
ours is all over the road.
Okay, so it's nothing really local. Much.
And that's
Okay.
why you guys require 23 years old.
Yes.
Okay.
That's part of the reason why we require that. We hire throughout the Midwest, Southeast. I think I have guys in 27 states right now. So
Man.
for me, when I'm looking, are you in a place that is like Florida?
Right,
Yeah, no. We don't get down there a
Right,
lot to
right.
make it a long-term sustainable
Sure.
fit. So
And then what I get the gist of is dispatchers, blah, blah, blah. But this is what I learned from Steve is like, okay, we bought a water truck in Wisconsin. Hey, Steve, can you get this? Yeah, we'll get, no, don't worry about it. We'll get it set up. And it's like, I didn't have to do a thing. It's
Yeah.
like, well, we got a rig to go Wednesday. And like,
Yeah.
and it was like 20 below.
And it was down here by Saturday.
So
So.
we got handles. I'm like, it's just
Yeah.
amazing that's. I mean, because when a guy goes from Newmarket and goes out to California with a load, you're usually got it set up to where you're finding him a load to come back this way with or
Yep.
stuff. That's what that.
yeah, so
person's-
it's like a puzzle every day.
Yep.
Every day it's apart, and we're putting piece by piece together.
How many
And-
staff members are doing that? That's got to take a few, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How
we
many
have
total staff members do you guys have, you think?
20 in the office, and then I think right around 20 over at the shop in Bedford too.
Okay.
So
Yep.
between
Yep.
mechanics and
Yep.
the wash
Yep.
bay and everything.
Yep.
So
And then 175 drivers.
Yes. Yep.
Gotcha.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Okay.
Right here in
And
Southwest
typically,
Iowa.
the other thing before we get you off is for people who are wanting to get into the industry, what do the hours look like, and kind of what kind of goes entail, like what benefits do you guys have? Because some people, there's like a stereotype out there. It's like, well, truckers don't get a lot of benefits. I'm like, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, they get the same benefits we get as
Right.
far as the office goes. So you have your full benefits package, your health insurance, your 401k, your dental vision, time off, all of the things.
Yep.
A lot of times, one of the questions is home time because we
Yep.
are an over-the-road company.
Right.
If a
You're
guy,
on the road a lot.
Yes, they are. And so if a guy lives around here, we have plenty of customers around here. So at least every other weekend, sometimes we'll talk about, 40 plus weekends out of the year that they would be through the house. If a guy lives out in, like, say, the Carolinas, we've got quite a few of them out there. It might be that 10 to 14, 21 days,
Yep.
kind of depending
Yep.
on what's going on. So a lot of it, too, is we got to get to know a guy.
Yep.
If you've got kids at home
Yep.
and you're
Yep.
needing to be home that every other weekend,
Right.
we want you
Yep.
to have a good home life, too. It's difficult.
So the staff's a little juggle.
Oh, it's, yes.
Amazing.
So not only are the routes a puzzle, but staffing's a puzzle
Totally.
too.
That's
That's my life as a school teacher
Yes.
too, with schedules and everything else. So
Yep.
So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just a driver can be as busy as they want.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the other thing that changed in the industry to me that I know of is like most everything's electronic logbook now, isn't it? I mean,
Yes.
there's nothing like
Yep.
that anymore. And then you probably have tracker on every truck, probably, don't you?
Yep. GPS, the
Yep.
logs.
Yep.
There is a plethora of things that a lot of companies has. We've tried to keep it pretty simple and pretty, like our guy's the professional guy, and not have all the little bells and whistles that are telling you, oh, you're over the center line. Oh, you're
Yep.
going too fast.
Yep.
Oh, you're going too slow.
Yep.
Our guys are the professional guys.
Right.
So that's who we're
Yep.
looking for.
And the other thing I found that's neat, I thought about was like, okay, North Carolina, this guy broke down. So you got to know
Yep.
what area, how close is he to a shop that we know, or you guys have to know all that too, where
Yeah.
to send that person,
Yeah.
or how a wrecker to come and get him, and
Totally.
so the dispatch, whoever it is, has to do that too, right?
That's Sam. Sam Spargen is over in Bedford at the shop, and he He's got his work cut out for
that
him.
That sounds like a well of a job.
He is
I'm broke
excellent.
down in BFE. Can you help me out?
Oh, and he does. He
right.
does. Yep. And we have our own wrecker.
You're X amount of miles away from this one and this one. I'm
Oh,
like,
boy.
they're like,
That's
oh
amazing.
God, you're out in the middle of nowhere.
It's true. It's true.
Oh yeah.
That's-
Like you get it. I always like to think of you get out in like western Nebraska area there
Yeah.
between like out in the mountainous area. I'm like, there is nothing out there.
Yep.
But that's another deal where he probably has to keep track of what companies he can rely on to come and get you or
Totally.
take you to, and
Or he's calling them,
Yeah,
hey,
that's
you got
incredible.
somebody available.
That's a crazy job. That's
Yep.
amazing. That's an amazing.
What is
job.
wait time like that? If I'm just curious, if somebody were to break down or whatever, like, are they stuck there for a while or?
It really depends on the situation. We've got a really good relationship with Peterbilt's as well. So our Peterbilt guy around this area is able to call the closest
Okay.
Peterbilt and say, hey, we've got this guy. Can you get him in?
They
Oh,
probably
my
have
gosh.
somebody on call all the time.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
big
obviously.
networking. This.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, Katie. I don't mean to talk shop with you all night long, but because we are going to be racing tonight.
I got
but-
some drivers to talk
but,
to. So
yeah. So anyway, but like I said, this is the 5th year. It's the coolest thing ever. I think this is with Salute to Farming and this one too, Salute Trucking.
The one thing that's cool about what we do is we are the only dirt track anywhere that does this. I mean, this is a one of a kind deal. I don't think there's any entertainment industries that do Salute to Trucking.
No.
And I know a lot of the guys, new ones, get excited. I'm just like Harley. I'm looking forward to go out there on the
And-
track with this thing.
Yeah.
It's like, so.
I will tell you this, race fans. Anybody has somebody in their family that's a trucker, they are like the most undervalued people that you'll ever meet in your life.
No.
Because if it wasn't for people that drive semis, we wouldn't.
We'd have nothing.
We'd have nothing. So, I mean,
No.
you talk about farmers that grow it. How do you think it gets from A to B?
Yeah, so
So,
yeah, it's the neat
True,
thing. And so all you folks that are on your way, normally we have intermission after heat races, but we will not be doing that tonight because we like it to be a little darker when we get the trucks.
Yeah,
out
we're going to
there
run a couple
because-
features first.
because a lot of these guys really deck out.
Some of
their
these guys
trucks
got
and-
underglow and stuff they like to show off. So
it looks so much neater. So you get here after the first 2 features, and you're going to hear a lot of. I'm sitting here on the TV going like this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of horn honking. So
we're going to be
it's
playing
fun.
some Eastbound and Down for you. So.
Katie, thank
love
you,
it.
thank you very much for helping us with this. I hope we can continue this because this is one of the coolest events we have, and I wanted to get it bigger every year. I keep saying I want to get 50. I want to get more than that.
What's the record? I think
44.
44 is the record.
So it's
So-
like
Awesome.
So you can't beat this weather. So I mean,
And the
there's no
track
reason,
is always
so.
perfect when we're done because they make it butter
Just-
smooth
they do. Just
because it's just packed in like
packs it
crazy.
right out. So
We've got
we had-
thousands and thousands
yeah.
of pounds on the track.
We've had drivers go, "That's the smoothest track I've ever run on."
I'm like,
I said,
yeah,
"Well."
we need to have semis here every week.
Yeah. A little pre-trip.
So yeah, want your guys to come up once a week. We'll get you
Yeah.
out on the track. So. But thank you very much, Katie Meyer. Appreciate it very much. Keen Thermal Trucking right there in Newmarket, Iowa. Great business. So come on out, folks. See those big white rigs out there, the Peterbilts out there. So
They're clean.
and so
Yeah.
Make
so,
sure you get a T-shirt. It's got a Peterbilt on it
I think
too.
we still got one more to come. I don't think the wrecker's here yet.
Nope,
he's
I
here
think
yet.
he's on his way. I just
I've
got a
seen
call from
T-shirts
him.
flying out, race fans.
Yep,
I'm
so
telling you, if you want
get 'em
one, you
quick.
better get
we
here.
sell out every year, so make sure you get here and get your shirt right away.
And we are
So-
not ordering them again.
So-
They are limited edition.
Yep,
So,
so we're gonna take our next commercial break, and we'll be right back with you here at Pitside Live.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today.
Let us help insulate your home with Heartland Foam.
No matter
what your insulation needs are, Heartland Foam Insulators is your go-to company. From removal to blow-in to foam, they are ready to go to work for you in any type of building, whether it be an existing house, new construction, a metal building, commercial building, or a unique project. Call Heartland Foam Insulators today at 712-623-4515 or heartlandfoam.com.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to...
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here at the Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa on KCSI 95.3 FM, KOAK 1080 AM. Also on the YouTube channel here. You can go back and watch it as many times as you need to, but we're going to shift gears a little bit here, and we're going to go into some results here from last Saturday night, and then we're going to go into some compact points. But, Cole, why don't you go ahead and read off some points, and then we'll go through results, and then we'll talk to our driver here.
All right, so your top 10 points right now in 10th, it is Jeremy Frazier out of Brooks, Iowa. 9th with a strong season going is Keegan Russell out of Creston, Iowa. Gunnar Steiner in 8th out of Shenandoah. Justin Best is in 7th out of Prescott, Iowa. Tyler Housley out of Council Bluffs in 6th. And your top 5 right now, Owen Richards, 86 back. 4th is Dustin Shepard out of Malvern, 72 back. Tyler Hoover out of Villisca is in 3rd, 49 back. Our next guest on the show in 2nd right now, 14 points back in 2nd. And your points leader looking to go back-to-back is John Berg out of Creston, Iowa.
Top 10 in your Floating Vine Compact Day feature from last Saturday night. 10th place, one of the original compact drivers here at the Speedway. That's the 6-in-law of Joe Baker out of Murray, Nebraska. 9th place was Gunnar Steiner in the 55. 8th place was the 69X of Owen Richards. 7th place was the 99P of Sharky Justin Best. 6th place, back in the white machine, the 23 of Dustin Shepard. Moving into the top 5, 5th was the 63B of Andrew Mills. 4th was the 27 of Tyler Hoover. 3rd was the 12 of John Berg. 2nd was the 751 of Keegan Russell, and your feature winner from last week. He won both of them, race fans. The 5 car of Xander Steiner. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
It was a good weekend, huh?
It was a really good weekend.
And I know some of you guys were worried about, 2 features and heat race. That's a lot of racing, but you obviously didn't care.
I didn't care.
There's a lot of racing for you, though. That's probably the most racing you've probably done here ever in one night.
No, I mean, we've ran double feature nights before, but I mean...
With heat races, though?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember,
well,
but...
when you have your momentum going like that, you obviously love it, so...
Yeah, you want to race all the features on one night.
You would have been down to do 4 with how your car was running.
Put me in the hobby stock feature. We'll see how it goes.
Hey, you did bring out a caution that one time.
Hey, they needed it.
Those are a lot different, aren't they?
A little bit.
So you kind of been up and down again this year, but one thing I've noticed this year, I think this is the most consistent you've ever been. From a point standpoint, it is.
Maybe.
I mean, you're only 14 back of the point lead. I know that's in the back of your mind. That's a good goal of you, but that's one thing that John Berg does a really good job of is he's consistent. He doesn't really go for broke when it comes to different things like that. But one thing I've noticed this year with you, Xander, is like you're doing a lot better job of staying out of trouble. I think you're being a little bit more patient out there a little bit. So I know you're always one that likes to just your throttle masher when it comes to a compact driver.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you've been more patient this year, or have you really not changed at all?
I've just been more confident.
Yeah.
I've just been trying to put my car in spots that I know it can be the best that it can be, and when I'm out there, I'm confident enough to know that if I want to go put it on the high side, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be as fast as I can. Or
not gonna hesitate.
Yeah.
And again, confidence is a huge thing, especially when you're in a front wheel drive car that's not made to do this. Confidence is huge, especially when you're going at such a high speed like we are. I mean, there's not one track in this country that you're probably going to go as fast unless you're in the Southeast. But for an IMCA Sport Compact, this is probably one of the fastest places you're ever going to go. And And I feel like that's why when guys from out of town show up and race against our guys, they're usually out to lunch.
Yeah.
Because either A, they don't know how to race it, or B, they're kind of scared because, I mean, you guys are hauling out there.
Yeah, I mean, really, this and I-80 were the fastest. There's so much speed. So much speed. And you don't really scrub off any speed either. No, not
And
really.
I feel like that's huge down here. I talk about it all the time with momentum. If you mess up one corner, man, you're going to lose 2-3 spots down the straightaway.
That's the only reason I got past Shepard in that first feature.
So talk a little bit about the new restarts that we've got going on here. We've got that compact, or the new compact start zone. Tonight we're going to call it the Boyd Appliance start cone.
Oh yeah,
Zach.
Yep.
I put a rope on it. Zach Schaefer's going to go out there, and we're going to put it out clear out on the track, and then he's going to take the rope and pull it in.
I don't think he's going to be here tonight, though.
He isn't?
I think they're up at the Iowa State. Well, I don't know if he went with them or not.
Okay,
so.
I'll have to message him. But we are going to have somebody out there because we're going to put that cone out a little bit farther so you guys can see it. So, and then we're just going to pull it in. But talk about how different it's been here in the last few weeks.
It's definitely different. It's not a bad different, though. I like it a lot. It helps going into turn one knowing that I can get my car to stick a lot better, not being all the way up to full speed.
And you're not 5 wide.
Not anymore. Well, I mean,
you're not full speed.
We pushed it a few times last
week.
Right.
But you're not full speed going into one.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference. And we were really thinking about, okay, what can we do to, make it safer but don't ruin the racing? And with our long straightaways, we feel like this has been a good idea. We actually got the idea from one of the I think it was Lawrenceburg, I think, down in the southeast, that runs the tuners, where they gut the rear ends and they're like super fast.
Yeah.
They have the long straightaways too, and that's what they do down there is they start them in the middle of the straightaway.
Yeah.
So we wanted to try it, and I feel like it's made for some good racing.
Yeah, it's maybe cut down a little bit on the entertainment into one, but that's good because that keeps cars safe.
Yes,
yeah,
it saves because by the time you're in turn 3, you're already kind of spread out to where you are full speed, but you're not on top of each other.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And I mean, at a small track like Stewart or at a small track like Harlan or anything like that, you're on top of each other, but you're only going 40, 50 mile an hour.
Yeah.
You're going 80 here, and you make one mistake, and your whole car is junk. So we wanted to make sure that you guys were not junking any more race cars because, yeah, the compact class is considered affordable, but it technically really nothing's affordable anymore. So, and these guys, it's not like they can go to a chassis builder and say, hey, you got something for me. You guys got to go rummage yourself and do it yourself.
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad those restarts have been going good for you guys. It's still kind of chaotic, though, and what's cool about it is the fans get a front row up in person. They hear it and see it, the difference of automatics, manuals, when you miss a shift, when you don't miss a shift. I mean, I think it was Sharky or something. I mean, he was just like yanking his shifter because he missed a shift. So
Weaver did too.
Yeah, so you can really see it when you miss the shit, and it's probably embarrassing for you guys, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. Because you're sitting there, you're like, "Oh man, I hope nobody's watching." Go.
You can really see it because in turn 4, I mean, you're so far away that you couldn't really tell, but on the front stretch, you really are. And one thing I've seen too is guys try to fan out.
Oh yeah.
But that really actually doesn't work that good unless the guy in front of you really screws up,
Did not see my heat race last week. Come on.
Now, I tell you, though, that's one of the fun things about the compacts because, the other classes, they kind of get in high gear and they're good to go. But the compacts, they got to go up through the gear. I don't know exactly where you guys land at. I'd assume probably 3rd. Yeah. So you don't got to go crazy far, but it's still one of those things. You got to make sure you get the right gear. I've been to a couple tracks where I've seen somebody hit a money shift on accident. It's not a good thing.
No, it is not.
It's kind of embarrassing probably too. Because everybody's just flying by you and you're just like, oh God. So what do you have to do when you miss a shift?
I hope and pray that it goes back in. You gotta push the clutch back in and you're like, go in. And then you just step on it again and hope that you're not
Are you
too far
out to
behind.
lunch if you're in an automatic?
No, ask Jeremy.
Okay.
I mean, he's been in an automatic for the entire time he's raced, and he's finally got that car figured out. It's a bummer that he's not going to be here tonight because he's one of the better people to race around at this track, and he's finally figured
Where's he
out
at?
His car last week.
Oh, not.
Still,
yeah, I remember.
But
yeah, it was not good.
He's figured out that auto, and he's not completely out to lunch. I mean, there's a few weeks ago, he was running in the top 3 lap times, and he's had a fast car, and it's just they're starting to figure them out. They're fast on short tracks. It's just here's tricky for them.
Yeah, I feel like the start's probably the only place you're at a real disadvantage. But even then, sometimes they do take off. I think it probably just depends on how quick that thing wants to shift. I know that's like my street car. There's times it'll get up and go. Then there's some times where you're like, come on, shift.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're probably the same way. But
well, I'm not for sure. But I'm pretty sure from what I've heard from Jeremy is that you know how it has park, drive, neutral, whatever.
Yeah.
And it has the 2 other gears right down there or whatnot.
Yeah.
They stick them in that.
Oh.
And so they just leave it in that and just go.
Interesting.
That's probably not a bad idea.
I know if I was a compact driver, I'd choose a manual, but that's just me. I mean,
good luck finding it.
Right. Well, you can kind of, your fate is based on your shifting and everything like that. But so rest of the year, Xander, you don't have very many points nights left. I know. Are you still just going for wins, or is it kind of in the back of your mind? Or are you kind of just are you trying to be smart with where you finish, or how is that going to go?
Well, I want to win.
Right, but I'm talking like, are you going to take chances, or are you going to?
I showed up last week, and I'm like, I just want to make this a good points night.
Right.
And it just seemed to work out in the way that it did. But I'm here again. I just want to have another good points night.
So having that mentality is probably a good thing then.
If I can finish in front of him every feature, I'll catch him by the end of the year.
But if you need to salvage positions, things like that, being patient's a good thing too.
Yeah,
and
you gotta be patient.
12 laps around this place is a long race for you guys. I mean, 6 miles for a compact race, it is. Trust me, it is. I mean, you've raced at like Stewart and things like that.
Yeah.
Those are like, it's just
15 laps of like 2 minutes. And we're done already? Come on now.
But we are going to run more laps, I do believe, for tradition and stuff like that, because there's going to be more money on the line. But
what are we thinking? 20?
probably 15 or
I like
18. 20.
Give me 20.
You guys are right.
We ought to do a big money show. Do 50 laps.
Well, hey, 25.
25. Oh, okay.
You think those cars would?
I was
some of those cars wouldn't hold up that long.
I was thinking about who could see who could save their equipment.
Somebody ran out of fuel.
That's an endurance.
There you go.
Okay,
Enduro.
we're not
at
enduro
our
cars.
track 50 lap. Yeah, that would be an enduro. So.
Well, before we get you off of here, you probably got people to thank, but you had a good weekend last weekend. I know you're going for points, but obviously wins are in the back of your mind too. But you're getting down to it where just keep the car in one piece, and consistent finishes are kind of where you're at.
Yeah, that's all I'm here for, consistency.
Yep, that's right. Well, who do you want to thank really quick?
Got to thank Twin Oaks Lawn and Landscaping, Orr Heating and Cooling, B&B Siding, Karen's Massage Oasis. I'm probably forgetting some people, but everybody that comes out and helps every week.
Yep.
It's just
you
can't do
guys,
it without them.
Yeah, you guys got a big clan down there. You guys have a lot of fun. So before you know it, we're going to be bowling again, and
21st of this month I start bowling.
I know. Well, we start in Clarinda, I think.
Monday the 26th.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was just there last night.
Yeah, it's nuts. We're going to be starting bowling again. I don't know if you know, race fans, but this guy is a really good bowler. He's also been bowling since he could, barely walk. So, but only if you were as good of a race car driver as you were a bowler, right?
No kidding.
Well, the way he did last week, I'm
just learning. I just picked up the sport last year. I'm like a 180 average. I'm not terrible.
Take
so
that for
so, all right, race fans. That's the driver of the 5 car of Xander Steiner. We're going to take another quick break, and we're going to come back with you. We wish you luck tonight, man.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with you.
furniture, appliances, mattress sets, lift chairs, bedding, recliners, and more. S&S Appliance, your hometown furniture store in Clarinda, just received a large shipment of appliances. They have a huge selection of stoves, refrigerators, chest freezers, and microwaves. And if you need a mattress set, they have them. Plus bamboo sheet sets. They offer full service from start to finish with competitive price guarantee. S&S Appliance also offers delivery and installation. Stop by S&S Appliance on the square in downtown Clarinda.
This is Josh with Shore Motor Company in Clarinda. We want to be your GM dealer. We have highly qualified and trained technicians ready to work on your vehicle. Anything from recalls to warranty work and beyond, we are your GM dealer. Our service department is open 6 days a week for all your service needs. We even have an express lane for those no-appointment quick oil changes. Visit our website at shoremotor.com to request an appointment or give Mike or Amanda a call at 712-542-6581. We are your GM dealer. Shore Motor Company, just south of the square in beautiful Clarinda.
Just as your local State Farm agent teams combine good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. This is your local State Farm agent, Dave Carball, and we promise to deliver the service you deserve at the price you want. My State Farm team will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call us today at 712-623-5639 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here at the Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa on KCSI 95.3 FM, KOAK 1080 AM, and on our YouTube channel on KCSI Radio Online. We're going to go through some stock car results from last Saturday night. Northland Oil stock cars have been racing pretty good this year. They're small in numbers, but they put on a good show. So top 10 in your stock cars last week. 97 car Mark Card finished 10th. 9th place was the 101 of Marvin Hendrickson. I don't know who that guy is. 8th place is the 20 of Lance Swartz. 7th place was the 62 of Rick Barton. 6th place was the 70 of Jesse Dennis. Moving into the top 5 was a 37D of Brad Derry. 4th was the 0 of Tony Hardesty. 3rd was the 6 car of John Kinzer. 2nd was the 31 of Nick Woodard, and your feature winner last week, first time on the year, former track champion, the 55 of Steve Churchill.
Right now your top 10 in points out of Bedford, Iowa is Luke Ramsey. 9th is Steve Churchill out of Creston. 8th is Mark Karg out of Clarinda. And the all-important battle for 6th place in the championship.
Dude, there's going to be hands thrown.
Saw a swing last week.
You see that on Facebook?
No.
We'll talk about it here in a second.
I'll show it to you after the Yeah, but John Kinzer is now down into 7th, 2 points back from Nick.
Oh, boy, they're
6th,
throwing hands.
So it's getting wild. 5th right now is Lance Swartz out of Corning, Iowa, 82 back. Rick Barton out of Riverton, Iowa is 76 back, and 3rd is Tony Hardesty, 70 back. And your top 2 battle right now, through all the chaos last week, nothing really changed.
Nope.
Still 4 points back is Jesse Dennis of your points leader, Brad Deary.
Well, we'll talk about it here, but we got Scuba back on the show. He knows how to talk on the radio.
I've done it a time or two.
Yeah, you've done it a time or two. But what this thing is, Scuba, is Cole actually posted something on Facebook, and it's like battle for 6th place, and you know, they were making stuff up like they were going to throw hands.
Yeah,
and they were
I posted that whole points breakdown, and I failed to see that there was a tight battle for 6th. So John and Nick got in the comment section, and they started acting like they were going to fight each other over 6th. I'll see if I can find the – there it is.
It's a pretty –
yeah, I took a UFC Fight Night.
There they are. Going to go at it.
Yep, so – no, it's pretty good. I said we need to get like a WWE belt or something for him for the 6th place and have it at the banquet.
Yeah.
But
well, Scuba, you were a late bloomer this year.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, I think I've been here 5 times now.
Did you forget you had a race car or what?
No, you know, this year we just kind of put our different priorities first.
Yeah.
We were planting and doing other stuff, and the car wasn't really ready, and a lot of things going on, and we just pushed off until now. You know, basically we've been here like I say, 5 times, and there was some rule changes this year. And
first week was rough.
Boy, the first night out, we were, the car was.
You could have ran with the compacts.
Like, oh, I know. Don't hurt my feelings anymore. The car wasn't very far off adjustment-wise, but it was off immensely on the track. Maybe it's the driver too, but we changed a little bit, and boy, it really livened up. So I'm glad we was able to get it out of that little funk.
Well, everybody that was like, there was people talking to me. It's like, man, Scuba's kind of falling off. I said, well, that's the first time he's been here all year. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I don't think they've really. I think whatever they did to the car just didn't work. So
yeah, it was close, but it just that last 10 yards we had to go on it really made a difference. I can tell you that.
It's got to be tough though. You're hopping in middle of the season. These guys have been racing every week, so it's got to be a little tough. I know you have a lot of laps around this place, so it's not crazy. But
everybody else, when everybody else has raced 5, 6, 7 times and they've got their feet beneath them, and then you jump in. Yeah, it is tough.
They know their equipment's going to work too. I mean,
right.
It's been sitting for 6 months.
I make a bunch of changes. I'm like, well, we'll see what it does.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't work.
So, you guys, was it Darren that started kicking you in the foot to get the car ready, or who was it?
It was Darren.
Well, Darren was down here pretty much every week helping Brad.
Oh yeah, Darren loves racing. He's a heck of a good pit guy, and he is the driver of getting this car to the track. He likes it over
there. So there is a possibility that we might run mechanics races after championship night.
I was actually going to bring that up.
Yeah,
like tradition night. Is there a chance to run that?
The reason why I don't think we're going to do it is because there's a possibility, and we hope that there's going to be a good car count. So we don't want to have to worry. We want to really focus on the racetrack and focus on making sure that's good. But we do want to do something. And we're thinking about after championship night, after we're done racing, like at the end of the night, because guys like doing that stuff. And I know Darren would love to race your race car.
Oh yeah, he raced it last year, but the year before, I think. Yep. One of those races.
Who raced Brad's car up at Stewart?
747. Tucker.
Okay, yeah, Tucker. Yep.
Oh boy.
Well, who was? Oh, it was Kinzer that said we need to get Chance in Kinzer's car. And we need to get Tucker and Brad's car, and then we'll put Darren in Scuba's car, and then we'll just go. We'll just start them 3 wide. Yeah, start them 3 wide.
That's a good idea.
So, but I think we're going to do something like that after championship night. We're not going to do it on tradition, just solely on the fact that we hope we get a good car count, and we really want to focus on the racetrack and make sure it's the best racetrack we possibly can make it. But speaking of tradition, this guy is one of the title sponsors. He's been doing it now for long time, and it's I know when we told you we were going to be racing for $4,000, what was your first
I was impressed. I really hadn't heard much of the scuttle this year like I had in the past. Really didn't know where you guys were headed.
We kind of kept it under wraps, and we were meeting about it, and then we have a little group that we were meeting about it, and we were just like, okay, let's get this done, and we finally decided, you know what, screw it, we're running for big money.
Yep. No, I heard it was $4,000. I thought, oh wow, they finally got her pushed through, and hopefully it works out great. Hopefully that'll entice some of these guys that just have a hard time coming down here for some reason. I have never understood what it is that you can't get the Dallin Murdy and those kind of guys down here, but hopefully that'll
entice them.
Yeah.
Well, we talked to the Dirt Crown guy too, and he's talking to his guys, and maybe in the future we'll make it that, but unfortunately, we have to be affiliated with some sort of an IMCA points deal with that. But Dirt Crown's not racing that night, so he's telling a lot of those Nebraska guys to come over here. And the only really tracks that are racing around here is championship night at Harlan, championship night at Eagle. But like Beatrice isn't racing, so you might get like a Jordan Grabowski or Boone's got that watermelon deal, but. We said we're gonna buy our own watermelons, and we'll get our watermelons.
That's a good idea. Good idea. And $4,000.
Yeah.
Chuck,
here's your watermelon and $4,000.
Well, Chuck talked to my dad at the state fair on Thursday, and Chuck's like, I'll buy the winner lifetime supply of watermelons. I don't care. So
I can hear him saying it.
Well, I tell you what. How do you feel about the format? I mean, the dual heat races. Do you like that?
it. It's something different, we raced that Silver Dollar National and the Cornhusker, and we went out there and really didn't know what the format was even going to be, or you just show up and do what they tell you. And
Right, you
and
just race.
It worked. I liked it. I liked it out there, and I think that's a good deal here. So it's something different, and it makes the heat race. You got to go.
Right.
You got to go.
And then what we're going to do, race fans, is these guys are only going to race 2 heat races on Friday, so they'll have time to get after the races. They'll be down having fun, but. We're probably going to do some sort of a lunch on Saturday. We'll probably cook food for everybody. And then we're going to do a bags tournament again on Saturday. I'm going to run it. We're going to do it over here in the pavilion, so here in the concrete. And we're going to toss some money around. We're going to throw some bags. So I know Chuck will probably be all for that. Chuck likes playing bags.
He does.
But we're going to do a little bags tournament. We're going to have a little bit of fun with that, and then we're going to do our radio show a little bit earlier. We'll probably do it at like 3-4 o'clock, and then we'll go racing again on Saturday. But it should be a fun weekend. I think we're also talking about getting maybe some live music for Friday night. We're seeing if Tyler Folkerts is available or somebody like that can come down and play some music, maybe down in the infield or something for you guys or whatever, And we did a breakfast one year, but the problem with it is everybody drinks until like 4 a.m., and nobody's up in the morning.
Well, if you could have breakfast at 4:30 or 5, it might work out a little better.
Yeah.
Probably all be gone by 6 a.m.
Everybody sobers up before they go to bed.
We'll have brunch. We'll do that.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably just cook food for everybody. We'll probably just cook some cheeseburgers, and we'll might do something extra, maybe some taco, like a taco bar or something. But for the guys that'll stay here, over the weekend. And one thing I did want to mention, race fans, that we're going to post, the Corning Hotel out here is super nice. Use it. If you need a hotel room to stay in, the Corning Hotel out here, I'm not kidding you, race fans, this is the nicest hotel I've ever been in. I mean, it is immaculate out there on the highway.
Wow.
I mean, you've seen it. I mean, it's
I've
pretty
seen
new.
it from the outside. Yeah,
it's really, really nice.
Looks great.
So they take really good care of it. So, but if you're camping, you can camp down here. I'm sure the lake's probably got camp spots. I know a lot of people camp at the lake and then come down here to race. That's what a lot of people do. So what do you guys do? You guys just...
I'll just drive back and forth. We generally have to work on the car, so we take it home to the garage, and work on it.
What, take it home at 4:30?
No, I'm kind of past those days, or I have been anyway. I don't stick around like that anymore.
Uh-oh, here comes Biggerstaff. He's got T-shirts to shoot tonight.
Ooh, all right.
So, another one of those trucker guys.
Oh, holy cow.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to shoot. So
hey, that's my size right there. Look at that. This is my 3rd T-shirt today.
2X, fat man size. Thank you. Look at that. So
sweet, thank you.
Just a 1X.
He's a 1X.
Yeah.
He's a skinnier guy.
How about that?
There we go. So, but yeah, we're talking here to Scuba Steve Churchill. Again, Napa Auto Parts has been a title sponsor for the Tradition for a long time now, and now we've got Chuck on board. It's the Hewlett & Son Auto Salvage stock cars for the Greg Miller Shootout.
Yep, so, that's awesome. Chuck's a great supporter of the track, and
what we're going to do is those inverted guys from top 10 in points on Friday. On the front stretch, we're going to do some sort of a redraw, and then we might do some sort of a game too, just a fun little interactive game for them, and we're going to talk to maybe Nick Woodard or maybe Napa or something, for the redraw deals to maybe like an oil filter or something,
Sure.
Somebody can pick up and they draw a number and they get to keep it or whatever. So
I still think a foot race.
Foot race, like the front row challenge at Oski. Who do you think would win in a foot race in the stock cars? Are you pretty quick?
Can we run like 4 laps, or does it have to be just like 100-yard?
I'm not talking about Hewlett when he was in his underwear over here.
100-yard dash, I'm out. But well, let me think about my competitors. Who have I got in there that?
Think about the local guy. You got Brad.
Yeah.
Brad's probably not very fast.
Well, I'm not going to say he isn't. I haven't seen him run. So.
I know Luke Ramsey's probably not very fast.
Right. Tony Hardesty.
Tony probably just say, I'm out.
You boys try it yourself.
Honestly, man, if John makes the top 10, he'd maybe have a good shot at that. I don't know.
Has Kinzer got some speed on him?
Maybe Kinzer and I should just go check it out right now.
Yeah, there you go.
I think we should do a sack race. A sack race.
We don't need to get.
I don't know about
these
that.
guys to get injured.
Or do like Knoxville did and do the tricycle.
Oh man!
You remember when they raced golf carts?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my dad rolled one.
Zeitner went over with Bethany Murphy. She rolled the cart. I thought he broke
I remember
his leg.
when they turn those things so sharp, they
Oh,
tip it
yeah.
over. I remember those things. There was two carts that were faster than everybody else. It was the Tony Stewart cart and the Jeff Gordon cart, because the Casey Kane cart and the Kyle Busch cart were so bad. They were so slow, and all the drivers were like, I want that cart.
I've rolled a golf cart before, but I wasn't blindfolded, so I didn't have an excuse. I guess those guys did.
See, I don't know if we could do that anymore, because our insurance that'd be a huge insurance liability.
They'd see a video of them getting a little too wild, and they're like,
Our insurance would call us. That'd be like, what did you do?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea, boys.
Yeah.
No, we'll come up with something fun to do for tradition, but I do plan on running a bags tournament, so maybe you can throw some bags on.
I'll try it. Yep.
So we'll probably it'll probably be like $20 a team, $10 a person, and then we'll kind of just do a little tournament, and we'll play single. We'll play like a single elimination doubles tournament, and we'll go from there. But I mean, we've done it before, and it was super popular. But well, Scoob, before we get you out of here.
Well,
all right.
They're beating on something.
I wonder if that's my dad fixing a bleacher board.
Oh, probably.
Before we get you out of here, and before we get you to your 51st driver's meeting of your life, you know.
I haven't. Oh yeah, I go to every one of them on time.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the first one there at the driver's meeting.
Yep, first one there.
Who
Last
do you got
one to
thank?
leave.
Who do you got to thank, man?
Hewlett and Son Auto Salvage, Chuck and Timmy Hewlett, obviously. Agritech Services, Channel Seed, Mike Haynes Farms, Burger and Farms, Conry Ag out of Griswold, Pioneer Seed. Let me get back into here because I forgot a few on the front stretch there the other night. Murphy Family Farms, Napa Auto Parts of Creston, Davison Son Trucking out of Clarinda, B&T Trucking out of Creston, Vicar Drilling.
Any of those guys going to be here tonight?
B&T's here. I just saw
They are
them.
here?
Yep. I'm pretty sure they got one or two trucks here.
There you go.
Rice Auction Sales, Barry Built Bodies. That's Barry and Julie Sandeman. So, and then the
We
guys.
need to get Barry back in a car.
Yeah, good luck. I don't know. You better start working on them now for next year. I got some guys that help me, and guys and gals that help me that I definitely wouldn't be here without. So, Darren and Kara Hatfield. Darren is there day in, day out when he's pushing me to go. So he's
keeping you going.
Yeah, he does a lot of work. Colby Hewlett, he's there all the time too. He just, I didn't think he was going to be here tonight, and I saw him as I was coming in, so that's good. We'll get some music playing now that Colby's here, and we'll get pumped up. So, and then Cody Luther and Erica, they come over and help almost weekly. They do a lot, so I got to thank all those people. They work their butts off, especially here in the pits, and make it a lot easier.
I know you've been contemplating, getting out of it and all that stuff. You've kind of been there, done that around this place for so long now, and those are the people that seem like are keeping you going.
They are. I would not be racing right now without those people.
Right.
I just wouldn't do it. And
I mean,
I'm getting old, I guess.
You've done the track championship thing. You've done the the traveling deal. I mean, it gets to a point where the motivation starts to decline a lot.
Priorities in life tends to change from when you're 22 to when you're 40.
Right.
Things change, and it's just one of them deals where I still have fun doing it. It's just not like it used to be.
Do you get an adrenaline rush still?
Oh yeah, and especially
I feel like Steve was just in the car, just like,
well,
here we go.
There's certain things that happen on the track that'll give you a little adrenaline rush, and yeah. So, and like last week, I come in, and unless somebody really makes me mad, or I really screw up, or something happens, I don't remember half what went on. Like I come in, I'm like,
it's just a blank space.
Yeah, I don't know if
what happened.
I don't know if I had my eyes closed or what, but so I don't know. But if I get mad, I do remember it then. So
I don't think I've ever seen you really mad before.
I don't. I try not to, but it can happen.
Maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'd just go get a cheeseburger and calm down and.
Back in the old 3D construction days.
Oh yeah, kick the tire. Well, it's got air in it. Let's go race.
So, all right, Skip. Well, we thank you for coming on. You're always a good interview. So, but tradition coming up. I know we're going to keep punching that thing along, and I know I know you guys are really trying to reach out to people too. But race fans, reach out to anybody you can. If you want to see a stock car here, message them on Facebook, message them anywhere, and say, hey, come down and
Yep.
run for $4,000. Run against our local guys. See
If
what
you're-
you can do.
If you're friends with those people on Facebook, all those guys that you'd like to see come, just start messaging them.
Yep, all the guys you see on, the Boone Nationals and IMCA TV and all that stuff, tell them to come down because there's no big money races racing that weekend besides us. So tell them to come down.
Yep.
So, all right, race fans. So we're going to take one last commercial break, and that was the driver of the 55 car, Scuba, Steve Churchill. And we'll be right back with you here on Pitside Live.
All right. Yep, good luck tonight.
Luke said I can definitely outrun Scuba and both the foot.
Oh.
All right, let's go.
Dude, that's nice. Like, they don't normally when we shoot T-shirts, it's like extra large. We don't ever have any fat guy sizes.
No, he
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today.
Let us help insulate your home with Heartland Foam.
No matter what your insulation needs are, Heartland Foam Insulators is your go-to company. From removal to blow-in to foam, they are ready to go to work for you in any type of building, whether it be an existing house, new construction, a metal building, commercial building, or a unique project. Call Heartland Foam Insulators today at 712-623-4515 or heartlandfoam.com.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live here at the Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. We're coming down to the white flag here, about 15 minutes left on the show. We're going to do some last-minute results here from the two classes that we haven't mentioned. We might as well go first with our sport modifieds, and then we'll finish off with our modifieds. So, results from last Saturday night for your RJ Plumbing and Heating Sport Modifieds, top 10 last week. In the feature was 10th place was the 12J of Darren Hardesty. Kept her out of the corn, finished in the top 10. 9th place, picked up a win at Stewart this week, the 57S, the Flying Farmer of David Schwartz. 8th place was the 86J of Jared Weston. 7th was the 22 of Mark Karg. I believe that is a best finish of the year, I do believe, for the 22 machine. 6th place was the 58 of Hunter Poston. Moving into your top 5, 5th was the 78 of Evan Davis. 4th was the 16A of Bryce Allen. 3rd was the 5 car of Josh Sink. 2nd was the 11 of Austin Hardesty. I do believe that is his career best finish here at the Speedway.
Tied it.
Has he finished twice?
I think he's finished second 3 times.
3 times, okay.
So.
And then it just seems like it's hard to break the ice on your first one. And your feature winner last week for the second week in a row, and it seems to be he's the car to beat right now, race fans. It's kind of transitioned from Bryce to this guy, the 0 of Sean Kralik out of Creston.
Yeah, and after the points, we'll probably bench race a little bit because it was a pretty solid race there back for second. But right now, your top 10 in points, sitting 10th is Tate Hafner. Pretty solid year. He's starting to gain some traction and some momentum. He's out of Corning, Iowa. And in 9th right now, it's the captain, Kirk McKay, out of Lennox. 8th is David Orr out of Council Bluffs. 7th is Darren Hardesty out of Cumberland. 6th place has another Cumberland driver. It's the Cumberland Carrot, Austin Hardesty. And I tell you what, if you could see his hairdo he's got going on this week, I really hope he parks it in Victory Lane so you guys can see it. He's got the old Hulk Hogan stash. So right now he's in 6th, 58 back from your point leader. 5th is Bryce Allen out of Stanton, 18 back. Evan Davis in 4th. It is 12 points back. Hunter Poston last week drops to 3rd. Only 10 points back, though. Sean Kralik with that win moves himself into 2nd place, 7 back, and your point leader is Josh Sink. So last week, kind of an interesting feature. It was all the guys right up there in the top 5, excluding Austin Hardesty, but he's still right there in 6th in the points, and that was a good run for that team as well. I was actually part of that. He got tore up at Stewart. They worked very, very hard to put that car on track. So it was.
I was worried because I was there. I was really worried that he was going to be done because him and Matt hit really hard.
Yeah, he was pretty close, but his crew got in there and they did a lot of work and they got him back out there. So it was good. The car wasn't. It was bad, but it wasn't as bad as what when you see a shot like that, you immediately think. Front stub
terminal, and, pretty much. Yeah.
Luckily, there was no bends in the frame, and he was good to go. So they worked hard, and a great result to pay off for it. But
we've been talking about these top 5 guys for the last couple weeks now, and they're still only separated by 18 points. It's 18 points from 1st to 5th. So
yeah.
It's anybody's game when it comes to this class, man. We've had some point battles in the past, but I think this has been the tightest between this many group of drivers, I think, since I've been announcing anyway.
For sure.
So, our other classes are, you got guys like Adam Hensel and guys like that are kind of running away with it, but we like this kind of drama.
Yeah, and I tell you what, another driver that's kind of, there's 2 drivers really that are looking to break through, and they've just been really consistent all year. They've been right there for a win. It just hasn't worked out, is Evan Davis and Josh Sink. Both of them. Sink's had a little bit of troubles. It's not really his fault. He's just been caught up in other stuff that he can't control, but whenever that hasn't happened, those 2 drivers have just been very, very consistent. And Evan Davis, you think a few weeks ago, almost got that first win of the year, and it was an interesting race. I think back there for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, they were all kind of just there. I was talking to Poston this week. He's like, I really didn't have an option to pass anybody because we were all just under a blanket. There was really nowhere to go. So it's
at one time you were checking lap times,
and he was running fast. There was nowhere to go.
They were only separated by what, 2 tenths?
Yeah, it was just they were all so similar in speed, and it just shows you how competitive this class is. But right now, these last few weeks, the favorite seems to be Sean Kralik. He has really found some momentum in that Rage chassis and got 2 in a row, so he's going to see if he can't make it 3 in a row tonight.
No, it's going to come down to the wire for sure. And how crazy would it be if Josh Sink wins a track championship without winning a feature?
It's doable.
What are the odds, dude?
I know he'd love to get a feature. He probably doesn't like hearing that, but it's definitely doable. So I know that would be a very popular track championship. So
he has one. He has one in his career.
Yep.
Hunter Poston doesn't have one. Evan Davis doesn't have one. Bryce Allen doesn't have one. The only 2 guys that have one in that top 5 is Josh Sink and Sean Kralik, and they both only have one.
Yeah.
So
no, it would be very, very cool. I think any of them is a great story.
Yep,
so
exactly.
Because obviously you have Sean trying to go back to back, and then you have all those
after
guys
the year
going.
he's had, man.
Yeah.
If you would have told me 2 months ago that Sean Kralik would be what 7 points back out of the track championship, I would have said you're crazy.
Oh yeah. So no, it's going to be fun to watch as we wrap it up, and man, I'm excited. That's definitely the class to watch for the rest of the year. So
well, moving into our final class for results here from last Saturday night is your Chat Mobility Hobby Stocks. Always every week one of the best features of the night. Can't wait for Tradition to see what kind of cars we can pull to come race against, in my opinion, some of the best, if not the best, hobby stock drivers in the entire country, really, when it comes to IMCA stock car race or hobby stock racing. So top 10 was Jim Toll in the 22. 9th was the 95 of Jared Lund. 8th was the 10G of Dustin Grout. 7th was the 5D of Anthony Davis. 6th place was the 21B of Bennett Johnson. Moving into your top 5, the 40X of Dave White Open Weed out of Mount Air was 5th. 4th was the 7 of Tom Myers out of Glenwood. He has a 1st and a 4th the last 2 weeks. Tom's really stepped up his game. 3rd place, Mr. Consistent, once again, the 7H of Adam Hensel out of Atlantic, just knocking off top 5s like it's nothing. Huge point lead. 2nd place is the 12G of Tyler Gray. He was catching him too, race fans. So if there would have been maybe 4 or 5 more laps or maybe 1 caution, it would have been very close. But the 16 car, Buddy Heidzik, was your feature winner last week. He actually had 2 feature wins last week, last week up at Stewart and then here at the Speedway. So I do believe they put some sort of a setup in, and that car looked different than it's looked all year. It was just perfect on that diamond line.
Oh, yeah.
It just set up on top and just...
That's the move that we watched Luke Ramsey do down here for years.
Right.
And won lots of races doing that. So, but right now, your top 10 in points, 10th is Anthony Fletchall. 9th is Buddy Heizik. 8th is Tom Myers. 7th is Anthony Davis. A good run, I believe. Yeah, Derek. Well, maybe not. Am I missing him here?
What?
I'm thinking of 2 weeks ago, Derek Myers had a really good run.
Yeah, Derek finished 13th last week, so I don't believe he finished last week.
Okay. All right.
I do not believe. So.
Cody Warner in 5th, Jim Toll in 4th, 3rd. He lost the second place spot. That's a pretty tight battle for second right now, but he's down to 3rd. Still a great year going for Dustin Grout. And right now, second, moving up through the points, finding a lot of momentum late in the year. We just talked about him. He was chasing down your leader late in that feature. It's Tyler Gray, and your point leader looking to go back-to-back is Adam Hensel, and he's looking pretty safe right now with an 80-point lead.
Well, right now, race fans, most improved driver at the banquet for this class is going to be really tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys.
I mean, Tyler Gray, Dustin Grout, Anthony Davis. I mean, he's a rookie.
Yeah, so he'll probably. I mean, he's probably obviously going to get Rookie of the Year. So
right.
He might be excluded, but you never know.
You never know. But
so.
I have people that watched on Dirt Crown a couple weeks ago, and we talk about it at other racetracks. It seems like, a hobby stock race is supposed to be a support class, and typically they bring out a lot of cautions at other racetracks, and they're always beating and banging on each other and things like that. It's just different down here.
Yeah.
These guys are some of the best hobby stock drivers in the country, and if these guys went and raced weekly at other racetracks, they would be winning races left and right. So.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, they rub on each other a little bit, but they do it within reason, and that's awesome to see. I think everybody would agree Rubbin's racing. There is a point where it gets too much, but, yeah, they've been exciting to watch. So, and you're talking about that most improved driver. I think with the way it is, we're probably going to have to go off who finishes higher in points because it's going to be so hard to determine. But, hey, really quick, I tell you, we did have one more class, the modifieds.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes, so let's go into our results from our Poet Bio Refining Modifieds from last week. If I'll scroll down to it, top 10. 10th place was Dave Carlisle in the 32. 9th was the 37 of Allison Davidson. 8th was the 37F of Tyler Fudge. 7th was the 3C of Andrew Clark. 6th was the 32X of Dylan Carlisle. Moving into your top 5. Good to have him back kind of on a weekly basis here, race fans. The 1M of Mike Johnson out of Omaha is finished 5th. 4th was Jesse Dennis in the 70. 3rd was the 11F of Colton Garside. 2nd was the 36T of Jeff Wiggins. And your winner, the 1 car of Josh Most. It seems like whenever that car's here, that car is the car to beat. So
yeah, and I tell you what, it was interesting. If we would have got a caution to see, but it didn't happen. Wiggy was starting to reel him in, but it also could have been a thing too where, Sink. Most might have been cruising a little bit there late in that, trying to save his equipment.
Might have got a little bit more aggressive.
In case there was a caution, but you never know. Right now in points, though, 10th is Allison Davidson. 9th is Craig Garner. 8th is Austin Paul. 7th, Jeff James. 6th is Andrew Clark. And your top 5 right now, Tyler Fudge is sitting 5th. 4th to Josh Cooper. 3rd, Colton Garside. 2nd is Jesse Dennis, 36 points back from your point leader, Jeff Wiggins.
That's crazy. After the year that Wiggins has had, I mean, what would it mean to him to be a track champion? He's been racing here since before I was born, pretty much, and he's never won a track championship. And to beat a guy like Jesse Dennis right now, who's won 7 of them, I mean, it's got to mean a lot to him. I mean, and he's 36 points clear right now, so I know it's in the back of his mind. And consistency is the key for him. I mean, yeah, wins are nice, but he just needs consistent finishes because he's got a big enough gap right now to where with our car count and things like that, it's going to be really hard for Chubbs to catch up. So.
Yeah. No, and he can definitely afford to give up a few points. It's like what I've talked with some of my friends that are points racing. Sometimes it's going to be better to cost yourself 4 or 5 points than it is to push and then end up costing yourself 15. So.
Wiggins' toter is actually not here tonight.
Yeah, he showed up on
it's
the
over
open
at
trailer.
Dwight's.
I saw that. I was wondering what
it's been over there all week.
But he's definitely got the equipment to do it this year. And we talk about popular wins, and obviously, I don't think anybody in this crowd really hates Jesse Dennis.
No.
It's just the fact that Wiggy, he's a fan favorite. People love him. He's got great-looking cars. He's a great personality. And anybody who's ever talked to him,
he's a good dude to talk to, man.
You know he's fun to be around. So it'd be very, very popular to see him get his first track championship.
Absolutely. So it's going to come down to the wire here, race fans. We don't have a lot of points nights left. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, we only have 3 points nights after tonight. So 4 total left. So because we'll go next week for points, and then we're off for tradition for points, and then we're going to come back on September 7th and September 14th for our 2 final points nights, race fans. So it's going to come down to the very end for our local guys, that's for sure. But we're coming down to the checkered flag here, race fans, of the show. Show went super good again tonight. Thanks to all of our guests for coming on the show. Thanks to Keene Tumble Trucking for sponsoring Salute to Trucker Night once again. Thanks to all truckers out there, race fans. Make sure you thank your truckers. They are so undervalued and so underappreciated. And what they do for this country is, we try not to make it go unnoticed here at the Speedway by doing this, but thank anybody you know who's a trucker out there, working the long hours out there on the road, driving around people who drive like idiots all the time out there, and having all that patience, to be able to do that and support this great country that we love. So it's going to be super cool tonight, race fans. Once again, 2 features, then the truckers, then we're going to run 3 features. We're going to run our stock cars first, or compacts first, then our stock cars, I do believe. Then we're going to do truckers. Then we're going to come back with our sport mods, hobby stocks, and modifieds. So that's going to be the schedule for tonight, race fans. Don't forget, next Saturday night is sprint cars. And then the following Saturday night Friday and Saturday is the 26th annual Napa Auto Parts tradition. So, Cole, do you have anything else before we get out of here?
No, just ready to go. Great weather right now. Obviously, it's a little overcast, but that's better than getting sunburnt, and I think it's going to provide a good racetrack tonight. We always have a good racetrack on Salute to Trucking Night, so just ready to get to it and excited to see how these points continue to shape up.
Cars are out on track right now. Race fans, hot laps are getting ready to go. We thank you for joining us here on Pitside Live. You can listen to us every Saturday night from 5 and 6:30. Thank you to everybody back at the studio. Thank you to the West family. Thank you to Laurier back at the studio. And we'll see you next week for Malvern Bank 360 Sprint Cars here on the Adams County Speedway.